This is a remake of the video of us transiting the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is an artificial 82-kilometre or 51-mile waterway in Panama that connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Pacific Ocean. The canal cuts across the Isthmus of Panama. The first day of our transit started nice and early with our two local guys, the line handlers, our canal advisor and our new crew member Robin on board. We catch up to the commercial ship that we are to follow up through the Gatun locks. It was amazing for us to share the water with Panamax cargo vessels. Their length 289 metres, their width 32.5 metres. These are huge, seriously huge ships. Before we entered the first of the Gatun locks, we rafted up to a Swedish flagged sloop, Nervous, 54 feet steel hull, and on the port side of Nervous was a British flagged sloop called Moonraker. It was very surreal as we entered the first lock, the first of the Gatun locks. There is 3 up to the Gatun Lakes and 3 down through the Mirrabors to the Pacific Ocean. The 3 locks collectively raise us up 26 metres above sea level, and the 3 locks on the Pacific side take us back down to sea level. This is the first time for us on Annecam to have ever been locked inside a locked chamber. I make a mental note of how much water we have under Annecam. Amazing to watch as the ship in the lock alongside us is going down as we go up. Our line handlers do an amazing job keeping us in the centre of the lock chamber as the turbulence from the ship and the filling of the locks is quite severe. As the second lock we were in was near the top, we could see back out over the gate to where we had been, and you can physically see the difference in height. The canal line handlers on shore carry our lines to the next location, where our canal advisor directs them to hook the lines to. This turned into a very long, slow process. As you can see, there is a lot of height difference between where we are now and the top of the next lock chamber. We had to pay for this privilege to transit the canal. On top of that, we also had to provide our advisor and all of our crew, plus the line handlers, with a meal. Our advisor loved Annie's lasagna that much he sat for 2 servings, plus wine. It was well after sundown before we reached the Gatton Lake. It was up here in the lake where our advisor hopped off. We spent the night tied to a mooring, and the new advisor got on early in the next morning. Day 2 of our transit. We got underway just as the sun was coming up. The canal advisors we have on board are there for advice only. Quite the reverse on the commercial ships, as they have a pilot who is in charge of the vessel while it is in their waters. With Robin at the helm and our advisor, we've just finished crossing the lake. We're now entering the Caloubra Cut. We have witnessed a lot of commercial traffic coming and going in this part of the world, but this is our first cruise ship we have met as we transit the canal. One of our line handlers catches the monkey's fist as it is thrown from the top of the lock. About as fast as I can say this, the heaving line is tied onto the dock lines. The dock lines are in turn hauled back up by the canal line handlers to control where the vessel sits in the lock chamber. Just before we entered the lock chamber, we rafted up to the same vessels we had with us yesterday. Up goes the dock lines. The Canal Advisor we have on board Annecam instructs the line handlers on shore to which bollards they will be hooking up to keep us secure. They take us right up, almost to the gate. The shore-based line handlers place the soft eye on the mooring lines over the bollard, and the line handlers we have on board Annecam control the rise and the fall of the vessel by retrieving or letting out more dock line. Coming down through the locks, the commercial vessels are behind us. Lock 1 of the last 3 is now complete as the gates open up to let us through. The commercial vessel we have behind us is a Panama bulk carrier, and it looks like they take up the entire width of the canal. It's amazing to watch how everything comes together. There are 4 trains at each corner of this massive ship. The trains are called mules. They control the position of the ship in the lock chamber. Annie suggests they open the gate while the chamber is still full, and we would get a flying start.
Shoot the rapid stop on the ready. Welcome to the Pacific.
As the last gate on the final lock opens up, the call goes out, "Welcome to the Pacific." Just after we exit the last of the locks, we unraft from the other 2 vessels that we went through the canal with. We move on up to the port of Balboa, where we drop off our line handlers and our canal advisor. From there, we head on up to the anchorage at La Playita. Thank you for watching this remake of an amazing part of our journey on Annecam.